Tiger fans, it's time for everyone's favourite segment, North Melbourne Deathride chart. We had a couple of weeks off while Hull's away, but the losses still kept ticking over, which is the important part, and things are looking very, very good for us. We don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves because there's still 3 games remaining for the rest of the season, but let's jump across now to the live Deathride chart and see how it all looks. Alrighty, here we go. At the chart, I wanted to move the camera across a bit just so you could see the Richmond Grim Reaper because he's done some wonderful things this year for us in terms of this draft pick, not going to lie. But as you can see, we are full of red boxes and the letter L in those boxes from round 16 all the way through to round 21. The Kangaroos have not won a game, which is very, very helpful. They did get very close against St Kilda. The Saints left their run really late to try and help us out, which they did, thankfully. So thank you, St Kilda. If you could just ease up this week, that would be amazing. And Geelong, well, Geelong, they completely torched them and put the result to bed pretty quickly. Interestingly, they'll be without Paul Curtis again this week. He gets a 1-week suspension for a strike. Thankfully, he doesn't wear yellow and black. Otherwise, he might have got 4 or 5 for North Melbourne. But yeah, so he's going to miss a week. And he's been one of their better forwards for the year. And I think Nick Larkey might be out for some people mentioned the rest of the year. They told me while I was away. If that's the case, that's a big out for them. That's Larkey and Curtis are their 2 primary forward targets, really. I know Zerha's up there as well, who did avoid suspension. But that's going to make it really difficult for them to actually score. They do get Tristan Sherry back this week, which is a really, really big inclusion. But there's only 3 games left for the season. They've lost 15 games. They're currently 17th, and they currently are handing us draft pick number 2, which might be 3 by the time West Coast get the compo pick for Oscar Allen and all that kind of other rubbish. But if we take a look at the fixture quickly, in the 3 remaining games, the Kangaroos have got GWS this week, GWS home game, so in Canberra. They've got us next week, and then they finish against the Crows, which is at Marvel Stadium. Now, for them to get above us and then above Essendon, who sit above us currently, they will need to win 2 of those last 3 games. So Essendon are currently on 24 points, Richmond are on 20 points, North Melbourne are on 18 points. Now, if we're going through this fixture, the Giants are currently 8th, and they are fighting desperately for a spot in the 8. It's actually working to our favour that things in the top 8 are still very close. Teams can't afford to rest players. They can't afford to be off their game. They all need 4 points, and they need percentage in a lot of cases as well. So I cannot see the Kangaroos getting up against the Giants this week at all. Then they play us in Tasmania. This should be a 50-50 game. I feel like if I was to have to pick a side one way or another, I'd probably weight it slightly in favour of North Melbourne just being in Tassie. And again, similar to our last encounter, they're going to identify this game as one they should be winning, as will we. And it should be, I'm hoping, a red-hot contest because we should have a few more players back by then as well. They'll have, obviously, Jerry back in the side from this week. He'll have some form going into next week. And, yeah, it's an interesting one because you'd love for us to knock them off to stay above them. But reality is if the Kangaroos lose this week, they would have to beat us and then Adelaide to go above Essendon, assuming Essendon don't win for the rest of the year. Now, the Kangaroos' last game against Adelaide, I give them absolutely 0 chance of winning. The Crows are absolutely flying at the moment. And again, they're going to need to win and they're going to need percentage as well. So I cannot see them dropping that at all. If we have a look quickly at Essendon, who are sitting just above us, they've got Geelong this week. So, I mean, they're not going to beat Geelong. Then they've got St Kilda. That's a winnable game. I would say that's a genuine 50-50. Then they've got Carlton. I would say that's a genuine 50-50 as well. And then they finish somewhere along the line against Gold Coast, which they're not going to win. So Essendon do have 2 chances to win at least one more game to put it beyond doubt. But ultimately, I don't think the Kangaroos are going to win 2 more games this year. I do think that pick 2 or pick 3, they might leapfrog us if they beat us, but I think that might be about the extent of the Kangaroos' rise up the ladder. So worst case scenario, we're either going to have pick 2 or 3, or we're going to have pick 3 and 2. Take it whatever way you like, it's going to be ours. We might even do a cheeky live on the last game and ride at home. It's been a fascinating watch to see this unfold. I still remember back to the night of the trade, we were doing a live, and we were all absolutely gobsmacked at this trade. North Melbourne supporters obviously came and defended the trade. And I get it. Like, there was an element you got to back your club in at some point. The club have to back themselves in to show improvement. And truthfully, and I've said this before, but I do think North have played a lot better footy than us throughout the course of the year, but they just haven't got the wins behind them. And we've managed to jag 5 somehow. And here we are. So thank you currently for pick 2. And I look forward to hopefully seeing another red box with the Elenet next week. So make sure you tune in next time. Go Tigers.